Yesterday we have been concentrating on how we can start working with the aggregate functions. Now once you start aggregating the data, the process goes into the level of granularity is what you can identify. Now we are understanding one particular point before we concluded yesterday, that every group function definitely has its own intelligence with respect to the identification of the nulls and non-null situations. Whenever you are coming to the count function, count technically does not consider the nulls when it is taken care of in the columns, but count will definitely consider nulls when it is in the form of a record. When we say record, the whole record is a null record. Remember that, okay? So, what is meant by a null record? This is an expected question. When a particular record is inserted into the database, and in every column for that record we have a null value, such kind of records are called as what? Null records. So, our null records are useful in the databases. Now, we are not considering them that. We are trying to understand the basic property of a null record. So, null records are useful, they are not useful is not the criteria, but databases will support null records. That's the point you need to always understand, the rule of the RDBMS. Now, when you have some amount of data with you, the data can be kept into the construct of groups. What do you mean by this? Now, if you are just trying to speak, you will start understanding the process. You just watch, I am saying select department number from EMP. Now, when I am saying select department number from EMP, every employee will have a department number or may have a department number. Will have a department number. Now, when this data is coming in front of you, can you tell me how many groups are there in this?
Three groups
are there. Yes or no? So, you are able to analyze the criteria and the composition of the process very clearly into the construct. So, for any data what we are trying to operate, it definitely will be with respect to some kind of groups associated into it. Now, identifying the groups is our responsibility. So, how did we consider the groups now? So, we are taking only distinct of the values and we are saying that they are the groups. The common sense as a human being is having, the same way databases also can be applied. Now, in the same way, suppose I am saying select employee number from EMP. Every employee will have an employee number or may have an employee number.
Will have
an employee number. So, definitely when I am executing this, can you tell me how many groups are there? How many groups are there in
14,
this particular data? 14 groups are there. Every individual value unique by itself is nothing but one group. So group doesn't mean that they should be duplicates compulsorily. So if at all we find some duplicated state of values, we consider a number of values of the duplication as one group. But when I come here, I can definitely say that this is one group I am having with me. But this particular group is definitely 14 groups uniquely identified in this. So, as we can do this particular job, the same way we can make Oracle to do this job. So, whenever you deal with any databases will provide you one special kind of clause called as group by clause. So, what is this particular group by clause? Now, group by clause is nothing but a clause that acts upon the data, and within the data it identifies how many groups are available. I am making a point very clear. Whenever you try to take group by clause, it operates on a particular set of data that is available, and in that particular data it will recognize how many groups are available. So the job of the group by is what? The job of the group by is what? Only to identify the groups within that particular piece of the data. Means it helps you in classifying the data, categorizing the data very properly by identifying the state of the groups that are identified. So that is its nature first of all, that is basically its nature. So whenever you implement your group by clause, we just call the group by clause by the corresponding column name what we are having. Now I want you to catch the rules very carefully now. Because as I already said yesterday, our rules will change very dynamically now. Now as the rules are changing, you need to catch them very quick. So when I am having any particular select statement like this, then I am just trying to go with, I will just keep my select statement to multiple lines so that you can have comfortability on the process. Now I just want to say group by department number. The moment I said group by department number, I'm telling my optimizer that find the groups identified in the state of the granularity of the department numbers. Out of 14 granules of data what I'm having with me, catch my words carefully. Out of the 14 granules of the data what I'm having with me, group by is helping me in recognizing the grouped granules out of it. It is catching the grouped granules out of it. So how many number of granules are there in the groups now? 3 granules are there. So the job of the group by is to only identify the groups within the data. Now here a student comes immediately with a question like, sir, when I am trying to go with distinct of department number, when I was saying distinct of department number from EMP, it is also going in the same output, yes. But technically remember one thing, because the outputs are same, don't say distinct and group by are same. You can never ever say, that's what I said, by looking into the result, don't take your decisions. Situation should be checked very carefully. So grouping is a very different concept. Grouping is a classification theory. Grouping is a categorization theory. Grouping is a specification from higher level granules to lower level granular implementations. But distinct is not. The distinct is only suppressing the duplicates to the output. Therefore, distinct cannot be operational by nature. Means I cannot use distinct in operational logic anywhere. It's not possible. Distinct's job is only to see that the end user's output is suppressed by the duplicates. But group's concept is not suppressing the duplicates. Group's concept is classifying the data with respect to the number of categorizations that are identified. So what is basically going to difference? Groups have extensions, distincts have no extensions. Distinct has only one thing, suppress. But groups can be extended by some other means, we'll check out. Whenever a group by clause is implemented, there are certain rules which we have to catch very carefully. What are those rules now? If a group function is available, if a group function is included in the select clause, we should not use individual result columns. That's what we have seen in yesterday's class very clearly. What is that? You just check. I am saying select sum of sum from EMP. I'm getting the overall investment in my company or no? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now, I just want to go with something like this, you watch. I am saying department number, comma, sum of sum. Actually, how many number of department numbers we have?
3.
14 we have. In group, how many are there?
3.
3 are there. Now, at least my expectation is that 29,025, which is getting invested on my overall organization, should be calculated department-wise how much I am investing. My intention is department-wise how much I am investing. In each department, if I am having n number of employees, then that is some summary of investment to that department. No. I want to catch that. But this particular function is going to give you how many granules of data?
1 granule.
1 granule of data. This department number in normal case it's going to give you how many granules of data? 14 granules of data. It never matches with the process. So it's giving an error. This is what we know from yesterday's experience itself. In these cases, you just watch carefully. If any extra non-group functional columns should be declared, then we have to keep them in the group by clause. The concept is very simple. If any extra non-group functional columns are expected to be declared, I'm making a point very clear. If any non-group functional columns, means these columns are not part of the group function, they are expected to be declared by you along with the group function. So yesterday our rule is, along with the group function we should not have a single row column. Now if suppose a situation is demanding from you that you have to definitely declare a single row column along with the group functional column, then make that particular column come into the group by clause. The The moment you make it group by clause is dividing this department number into how many groups?
3 groups.
3 groups. Now immediately the sub function will get through the intelligence. What is the intelligence it has now? Department wise salaries are also separated. Means how many groups by group by clause is identifying. In each group how many salaries are there? Those salaries are separated now. And once the salaries are separated, on those salaries the sub function will work. Means now how many times the sub function will work now?
3 times.
3 times it will work for each group independently. Very clearly showing that this 29,025 that is invested on the overall organization is actually nothing but in 10th department with 8,750, in 20th department with 10,875 and in 30th department 9,400. That's how it is separating the process. So it's not your group by clause is making the group functions to become intelligent in analysis now. So, group by clause job is only to design the groups, be very clear. The group by clause job is to design the groups. But if any group function is there, group function will work according to each group. So, using the where clause, we can always see that the groups what we do not need, we can eliminate. Sir, what do you mean by that? If you are using group by clause, it doesn't mean that where clause should not be used. You don't want your groups, which groups you don't want, you can always declare your where clause. And you know very well that where clause should always be after the from clause. So according we are saying department number not equal to 20. So you are removing 20 and you are getting the groups for the remaining ones. So we can exclude what we do not need. We can group whatever we expect. We can aggregate with what we need. It's not the environment of the query is becoming more intelligent than what we have been doing all these days. Middle level management data, this is called as means we are answering the people who are at the middle level management with summaries of the operation, summaries of my company. This summarized data can be passed immediately from the atomic data what we actually have. Are we writing any great programming in the process to do all this particular piece of work? No. So column aliases cannot be used in the group by clause. Whenever you are dealing with your group by clause should work only on original name of the columns. It cannot work on the aliases. These are specific rules. By default, rows are sorted by ascending order of the columns included in the group by list. There is a rule in statistics whenever you are having some amount of data with sampling, let us say, you want to convert the sampled data into groups of representation. The rule of statistics always says that represent the groups in what? Either ascending order or descending order. That's the rule of statistics. So group by clause follows the same construct, and according to the what it does is whenever you are representing the group by clause, the output of the group by will always be in sorted order. That is an ascending order of the column in which group by is implemented. Are you catching me? So it is always in the ascending order of the column in which the group by is implemented. This should happen generally. Be very clear about that. Means what? You just watch. I'm saying select department number, and I'm just going with from EMP, and I'm saying group by department number. Do I have any functional columns in this? No. So always remember one point, group by clause job is only to group. If a group by clause is not demanding any group functions. Are you catching the point now? People generally misunderstand one point that when a group by clause is implemented, definitely a group function should be there, no rule. Group by clause is different, group functional process is different. Group functions and group by clause can be integrated. If you want, you can integrate them, else you don't need to. Therefore, whenever we implement a group by clause, on whichever column we are implementing the group by clause, on that particular piece of the column, automatically the data will be in the ascending order of representation. That is one nature. So in my machine it's not happening. See, system has its own priorities. theory of the grouping says that in mathematical process of the grouping applications, this is a formal rule. Your operating system, if it is not supporting on the process, maybe you may not get. So you don't need to worry about that. You have group order by clause with you, so start ordering once again separately. But generally this should happen. If it is happening in my machine, it should happen in your machine also. Depending on configurations, if it is not happening in one or two machines, you don't need to come running along through the process now. Now in the same way, you just watch carefully. We are saying select employee number from EMP. You watch carefully. Is it grouped or ungrouped? Come on now. Ungrouped. It is an atomic state properly or not?
Yes.
Yes. So do we have anything in the format of ascending order of the process of this particular piece of the data? You just watch carefully through the construct? Yes. So why it is looking ascending here? Because that was the order in which I inserted the data. Are you catching the point now? That is the order in which I was inserting the data. So when we insert any data, it should be in the order is not rule. Definitely yes. But technically, when I start your session, I have deleted all my previous data that is available and I reinstalled it once again. Before I am starting your session, I was doing that. So since it's a new insert that has taken place in that order only, therefore you are feeling that it is basically ordered. Because my row IDs are allocated in a particular order because all inserts are taking place continuously at a time. But technically data should be ordered is not the rule according to Oracle. So if the data is already ordered, the group by clause when it implemented follows that order. The job of group by is ascending order, that's it. But you just watch the criteria and composition once again. I am saying select ename and I am saying from EMP. Now, do we have any order of the employee names? No. Now on this particular composition, you just watch, we are trying to say from EMP group by. Do I have any employee names which are same? No. So my group returns me how many groups of data? 14 groups of data it returns. But is it not ordering on the process of the ASCII? That is its nature. Are you catching the point now? So group by clause nature is, it always says that the system is sorting the data on the column that is participating in the group by in the ascending order. The column applied in the group by clause need not be part of the select list. This is what document says. But technically student has great many number of confusions here. I am saying select department number from EMP. Which column is in my particular projection? Department number. Now I am saying group by job. Job is part of my table or it's not part of my table?
Part of the table.
Part of my table. But is it part of my projection or it's not part of my projection?
Not part of.
Not part of my projection. But watch very carefully, it's an error. So this statement will be controversial to what we are experiencing now. So always I want to remember one thing. Any particular select statement that is written with a group by clause, in that particular group by clause, the columns that are not part of the group function should be definitely be part of the group by clause. Columns that are part of the group function need not be part of the group by clause. Are you catching the point now? Be very, therefore, any particular time you are writing a group by clause, columns in individual projection should be definitely be part of what? Group by clause. Else it's an error. Be very clear about that. So, you just watch, I am projecting my department number, but I am grouping on job. It's not accepted because granularity never matches. So, what Oracle says in its documentation, that context you have to understand. If you don't understand the context and you experiment on it, sometimes what document says and what you are doing, there will be some controversy of difference and you will have great lot of confusion in the process. So look into that particular state very carefully and start working. So whenever you deal with your construct and composition of groups, what is the only job of group by? What is the only job of group by?
Identify the groups.
Grouping the data. The only job of group by is grouping the data, that's all. With that we want to make few more things to happen now. Okay, you are just coming down along with me, just working out on the terminology very carefully, man. Okay. I am saying select department number from EMP. How many granules are presented? 14 granules are presented. Can be classified or they cannot be classified?
Can be classified.
They can be classified. So to classify, I am calling what now? Department number. So how many granules of information is coming now?
3
granules. So you will say it is 3 grouped granules or 3 classified granules. The same way you want select job from EMP. Now how many granules of data I will get? 14 granules I will get. Are you getting me? On this once again we are working with one designation. Only one employee can be there or many employees can be there? Many employees can be there. So I am calling group by job. So it immediately returns me 5 granules of the data, grouped granules. So group by clause can be implemented on any column or there is any specific column.
If one-to-many relationship.
But it is more meaningful on such columns which are having one-to-many relationship. It should be only on one-to-many is not a rule. Okay? It can be on any column. But group by clause gives you meaningful output when you are implementing it on columns having one-to-many relationship. So on columns which have one-to-many relationship, whenever you implement a group by, you will see the effect of that group by very easily. Means you will understand. If I implement group by on employee number, we don't see the effect because we feel group by is not doing any work because 14 records are there which are already grouped granules. So you will get all 14 once again. So you feel group by is not working. With maturity you will definitely understand, but in initial stages student has confusion there. Therefore group by clause can be used on any column irrespective of the cardinality, but group by clause looks effective when it is implemented on columns containing one-to-many relationship. Are you catching the point? Any column of one-to-many, it looks meaningful. In the same way, one employee can control only one employee or he can control many number of employees.
Many employees.
Many number of employees. And these employees who are controlling other employees are called as what? Managers. By hierarchy, not by designation. So here we are having the list of managers who are by hierarchy. Now, since it is a column that is having one-to-many relationship, then definitely you can just watch. We are going with group by MGR and then you can just watch. We are getting the group granules of output. How many we got as output? 6. But the count is saying what? 7. So group identifies all the nulls as one single group. If in a column multiple number of nulls are available, all nulls together will be treated as what? One single group. Be very clear. If a group is considering the nulls or ignoring the nulls? Considering the nulls. All nulls as one single group or each null as one group? All nulls together as one single group. Never ever forget this particular point. Now when your groups are operating on any column, that column is a collection of nulls or it's not a collection of nulls should be concentrated. And if the column is collection of nulls, definitely groups identify the nulls together as one single. So never forget this. So I don't want the nulls to participate. Then call the where clause and then remove it. You are saying very clearly MGR is not null. So the moment you set this, you are calling the group by only to the data that is not null by nature. Are you understand the concept of group by first of all? Yes. Clear? Because group by should be very clear to you. Because if group by is not clear, then next level integration will be a problem. But actually this is waste of time for me. So do try to recognize these compositions. And in all these cases, wherever I implement group by, these are all straightforward columns or derived columns. Straightforward columns. But group by can even be on derived compositions. Derived means what? Now I just wanted to check one thing. Select, I am saying 2 underscore arrow. We are going with higher date comma. Okay, we are just moving down with higher date comma y. So I don't think I need to tell you what I'm presenting here. So in 1 year we can have only one employee recruited or many employees recruited?
Many
Many
employees.
employees recruited. So I think there is a granularity of groups in this also.
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
So currently what I am having is a derived group or non-derived group now?
Derived group.
Derived. So I can always call my group by clause even on the derived columns. So we are having how many groups of recruitments with us?
Four.
Groups of recruitment years. So groups are not just for only straightforward columns, they can even be called upon what? Derived columns. Therefore, anyway your understandability of conversion functions is say like lacking, then grouping operations will take some more time. To get your innovative ideas, it will take time, that's it. Now let us just go with one specific issue. If I am saying that my employees are recruited to the year-wise composition here, I am saying to underscore care of, we are moving down with hire date, comma, month. And then I am just moving down with month. And I am just saying from EMP. In one single month we can have only one employee getting recruited or many could be recruited. Many could be recruited. So definitely I think I am having granularity of groups of months also.
Yes.
So I can definitely call this composition to what?
Group.
We can take this and we can push it into what now?
Group by.
Group by with this. So we are just going down on the process and we are looking into the constructs. So grouping operations can be conducted on any column. The job of the group by is only to group the data. Now I have some next level of the process. Until now I think you are individually understanding group by, yes or no?
Yes.
Our next level process is very important for us. Now, till now we have been catching the single columns to be declared with respect to the group representations. But a group can contain a subgroup or it cannot contain a subgroup.
Can contain
It can definitely contain a subgroup. So what is the example? Simple. In one department we can have only one designation or many designations.
Many
designations. One designation can be found in only one department or many departments.
Many
departments. So department is having designation as a subgroup. So if you just watch here, select department number, comma, job, and we are saying from EMP. Definitely, department is having a subgroup of what now? Jobs. My intention now is, get me the group of the department with the subgroup of its jobs. Are you catching my point now? Get me the department as a group and subgroup of its jobs. This I am expecting grouping on single column or multiple columns?
Multiple columns.
Multiple columns. So, when you write a group by operation can be on multiple columns also. So, group by clause can take multiple number of columns as groups. But remember one thing, students may misunderstand this thinking that group by is working on all the columns at a time. No, it's working on the department number as major group and job as a subgroup. On the job, if I say comma, one more column, what happens now? That becomes a third subgroup of job. So department number is a major group, job is a subgroup. To the jobs subgroup, the third column will become another subgroup. That's how it will be going on. Are you catching the point now? So, you just watch carefully. This is the group called as 10th department. The subgroups of what? Clerks, managers and presidents. This is the main group of 20th department. The subgroups of what now? Clerk, analyst and manager. Then this is a subgroup of the 30th department with clerk, manager and salesman. So to be very clear on the construct and composition of the process. So whenever you are having one group with you, relevant to that particular piece of the group, it may contain subgroups. So So identify the subgroups and start working out on the issues. And here I wanted to check one thing. How many columns are in projection?
2 columns.
2 columns. Now I'm trying to take only one into my group by. So columns are expected to be projected by 2 groups, but grouping is done on only one single column, not acceptable. As many number of columns are coming into the projection, so many number of columns should get into one group by. Now here you need to understand the other constructs. Now I'm saying department number, comma, job. How many columns are there in my group by?
2
Come on.
2 columns.
2. But all the columns in my particular group by need not be part of the projection. Are you catching the point now? So if n number of columns are in my group by, all n number of columns should be in the projection is not a rule. But when one single column is there, that should be definitely be part of the projection and group by. When multiple columns are coming, rule is changing once again or no? So if n number of columns are projected, then definitely they should be part of the
Group by.
But if n number of columns are there in the group by, all n number of columns should be in the projection is not a rule. This is how very quick the rules will be changing when. The student who doesn't remember these rules, when he is practicing, he will get into confusion. Be very clear about that. Now here I just wanted to check one thing. Say like in the place of department number and I said job. So you present the first column of the group by for projection or second column of the group by project, that doesn't matter. Are you catching the point now? Now, if suppose say like I am going for one particular column there and I am trying to go with job. In the place of this job I said department number. This is not acceptable to the rule. When single column projection and single column grouping is done, projection and the group should be same. Very, very simple rules, but on these rules only many number of times your interviewers will stress you. We know that you know select, we know that you know from, we know group by. But even then we check on rules. Are you knowing the rules of the operation or not? So do recognize this. In this context only one question will come to you. What is that? You just check, select 2 underscore arrow. I am saying higher date, comma, month. And then I am saying from EMP, group by, I am going with my process to the criteria of my group by. Now when I am executing this, it's giving me the month-wise groups or not?
Yes.
That's okay. Here your interviewer says, please see that you are arranging these months in the order of January to December, he says. These months are in the order of January to December or they are not in the order now?
Not in
order. So he says, please arrange them in the order of January to December. If you do not understand the rules of the group by, you definitely will do some blunders now. The first blunder I have seen with major number of students, he'll add the order by clause and he'll call this to carry into this, when his mind is moving in psychological state that January to December is a ascending order. So if I declare this and if I don't give anything, it will be an ascending order and I'll get January to December. Forgetting one fundamental point that order by clause works on ASCII, but it doesn't know which is January, which is February. He forgets that and he will give this answer for us. Means in the interview room he writes like this, but he doesn't know that it's happening like this. Small ignorance can cost you if you are giving experience. If you are a fresher, I don't hope so you may have a trouble, but your resume says you are an experienced guy and you just do this mistake, then definitely we are concentrating on your experience very seriously. The next kind of thing, what I have seen is, he will just get, few students will work on this and he knows that month is what now character wise, yes or no? So what he does is he will make it what? Numerical month. Because we learned already conversions now. When we said numerical, then generally what will happen? The month is in numbers, yes or no? What is the way? 1,
One,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to 12. So definitely it should be in ascending order of what? 1 to 12. 1 to 12 is on the order of what? January to December. But forgetting one simple rule that order by clause, whenever it is implemented, whenever a group by clause is there, order by clause should follow the group by clause. This is another rule of the order by, which we do not keep this rule until yesterday. Because until yesterday we never had group by. Very, very important concern. I'll come to this once again, but you just watch carefully. Select department number, comma, job. Okay, let us check only department number. I want you to check the rule of order by now. From EMP, you're just trying to say group by, okay, department number. Now I am just saying that order by job. Rule of order by says what for us? Long back. Order by clause can contain any column that is part of the table, it will not be part of the projection. Yes or no?
Yes.
That's rule we said. But you just watch, it will not work now. Because order by clause is getting dictated by group by. So if group by clause is not there, that is the rule. So why you did not tell about this rule long back? That day you don't know group by. If I tell you, you will get confused. So we are looking the rules topic by topic very seriously now. Therefore, as the rules are changing, you are not correcting yourself. There you will do mistakes in front of the interviewers. Who says that you don't know order by clause? You know definitely order by clause, but order by clause with group by, what is its behavior? So, statistically the rules are changing now. You just watch the moment I have department number descending, automatically my department numbers will become descending. So strictly speaking, when you are working with your order by clause, if group by clause is there, order by clause should follow any one of the column declared in the group by clause, not all of the columns. Any one of the column declared in the group by clause. So what do you mean by this? I am saying department number, comma, job. Can I say group by only department number?
Yes.
No. So I should say definitely what? Job. My group is on how many columns?
2 columns.
2 columns. My order by is on how many columns?
1 column.
Part of the group by or not part of the group by?
Part of the group.
Part of the group by. So, are you catching the point now? So, are you understand the rule of order by clause?
Yes.
So, that is the reason here order by clause failed. So, why the order by clause failed, are you understanding? You are looking into higher date, but order by is not looking into higher date, it is looking into what? This also. So, group by is working on higher date with the month as a group. Your order by clause also will look into the process of the higher date with the month as a group. Are you catching the point now? So, this way it will not work. That's what you should always understand. A student who understood the rules of the group by very perfectly, what he does, you watch. Instead of keeping this here in the order by, I am placing it here in projection. Watch carefully. I am saying sequence number as the column layers. Now what I am doing is, instead of this order by clause over there, I am taking up this, and we know very well that group by clause always has ability of ordering the data. So here how many columns are in projection?
2 columns.
2 columns. Those 2 columns should be in the group by or maybe in the group by?
Should be in the
Should
group.
be in the group by. So as it is, I am presenting. The first column is what now? Numerical month. Group by always has the intelligence of what? Ordering. January to December. One of the students is technically giving this answer. That's enough for us. He understood every rule of the group by. There were no interview will ask you, can you get me group by? Do you know group by? He gives you a situation and he tells you please do the job. So how many times you can directly adapt onto the process of the rule is very important. But when you just learn the clause, it may not help you many times. So groups can be subgrouped or they cannot be subgrouped. They can be subgrouped. Now once we know that groups can have subgroups and they can operate, now let us integrate group functions and the other criteria of the subgrouping. Let us just combine both now. Now you already know yesterday with your group functions. Today we know group by. Group functions job is what? Calculate only aggregates. Group by clause job is what?
Grouping.
Only group the data. Together if you keep them, they do wonders for us. They were just integrating yesterday what we did with today what we have learned now. Okay? Now you are just following me very carefully. If this is the total sum of salary I invested in my organization, definitely I want to see the criteria of this investment on each department is in which way. So I'll just try to call my department number here along with what now? Group by department number. The moment I said Oracle will break the system into multi-granular status of the groups and views. But here I just wanted to check one thing. This is a single row column or it's a functional column?
Single row
column. This is what? Functional column. Yes or no? So we call this as group functional column and this we call it as single row column. And this column is part of the group by or not? Yes. But remember one thing, when group functions come into the select statement and if a group by clause is implemented, the column in the group by need not be part of the projection. See the rule how it is changing. Okay? Just now what is the rule we said? A column that is in the group by clause should be part of the projection. But now once again we are changing. Therefore, with very specific concentration, you don't keep yourself very clear in every point I am speaking. Problem will not be now. The moment you sit down your systems, the confusions will start. So, group applications will make the database change dynamically by their rules. So, just be very clear on the process. So, whenever you start working on the issues, when a group functional column comes, you are using any group by clause with a column name. Such a column need not be part of the projection. But for clarity, it is better you keep it. For clarity, you better keep it. Are you catching the point now? See, if I ask you these investments are for which particular groups? Today we may say because we have common sense of our data, because it's only 3 records. Imagine you are having supposedly some 50,000 groups. Can you say it is belonging to which group now? That's the reason. Generally we project. Are you catching the point now? Now this is my total investment in my company. With respect to the total employees, now I am saying select job, sum of sal from EMP with the group by job. So now I am asking designation wise how much you are investing. So my analysis of my investments is becoming better now or not when compared with yesterday. Yesterday we know overall, but today we know specific to the group. In this, so now can I have multiple different number of columns into the process, the functional columns? You can just go count of star. Then you can always call the average of sal. How many number of group functional columns you call, that doesn't matter. So you're saying that I have 2 analysts in my company, overall investment is 6,000, averaging 3,000. Because of giving more group functions with the group by, my system is becoming more better in analysis of my granularity of data for investment zone. So, what is the way you work, that just depends on you. The same construct you want, we are saying select MGR, sum of sal. One manager can control many employees. Means the budget allocated to that particular manager is nothing but overall summary of his employees working under him or not.
Yes.
Now we are just trying to say where MGR is not null. I want to eliminate that null there. Then I am saying group by MGR. So definitely with respect to each manager, how much amount of investment is done. It is not manager's salary when first understand, it's manager who is controlling the employees. On those employees, how much investment is done. That is what it is showing you. So try to understand every component of the group by very properly, because we have great amount of work with group by in the coming days. Now we are going with 2 underscore care of, we are saying higher date, YY. So in one single year we can have only one employee or multiple employees.
Multiple employees.
Multiple employees. So we are saying from EMP and we are going with group by, and then we are coming up with so year wise how much I am investing. So under each year, what is my overall investment? And in this way, I can even call down my process very clearly by saying count of staff. And then in each year, how many recruitments have taken place? It's not my filters are becoming very effective now. My idea of my company business process is becoming more easy for me. Now, if I am having anything like year in the place of this, can't I have month in the construction? So, just try to understand the way a database can definitely help you in cross-analyzing your data very easily without having great programming as a process. So, these are all single column grouped aggregations or not? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. But we know that a group can contain subgroups.
Yes.
Now let us watch the effect of Oracle if it comes with such issues. See, just go on watching me now. This is my total amount of investment in my organization. Now the question is, how did you invest this money? Department wise, can you tell me? So you went with department number and then what did you say?
Group by department
number. You are coming along with me in continuation, okay? So this is my department wise investment, okay. In one department you can have one employee with one designation, or we can have multiple employees with different designations.
Multiple employees
with different designations. Now the question was, can you tell me this investment on department job wise how much you have done? Okay, on each job with respect to the jobs in the department, how did you invest it? So we are coming with this now. So this is my department wise job wise. Means in 10th department, this was 8,750 budget. This 8,750 was spent as clerks with 1,300, managers with 2,450, resident is 5,000. It's not that budget is 8,750. So, I am understanding, see, first level, this is my total investment which is invested in this way. This is my investment in 10th department which is granularized like this one. Now, I am just going further by asking, in this particular department with job, can you tell me in which year you have invested this amount? I want to know in which year you have invested this amount to that particular composition. So, shall I make this to come into my particular group by or not?
Yes.
So you just watch what it is saying. In 10th department on clerks, in the 1982 I invested 1300. If that was a year in which you invested, can you just tell me in which particular quarter of that year you really invested that amount of money? So we are just giving the composition as what? Q. And then we are trying to operate on the process. So you just want in 10th department on clerks in the year 1982, in the first quarter of 1982, 1300 was invested. Now a quarter is a collection of 3 months. So I want to know in which month you have invested that. So I am calling my month here. And then we are taking this and we are making it become part of what now? The group by. The moment I said, it is telling me in 10th department on clerks in the year 1982, in the first quarter of 1982, in the first quarter in the month called as January, I invested 1300. January is a month of 4 weeks or 5 weeks, definitely, yes or no? So, in that January, can you tell me in which week you invested this money? So, I am calling my W. So, you know that very well that W is month week. So, you are adding that particular W into the process here. And now you just watch Oracle's intelligence. In 10th department on clerks, in the year 1982, in the first quarter of 1982, in the January month of the first quarter, in the 4th week of January, you invested 1300. If it is in the 4th week, can you tell me the day on which I invested this money on that particular data? So, we are directly going with the process and we are trying to say DAY day. You know very well that DAY day is your weekday. Now we are calling this and you are trying to keep it in the process by calling the day. And then you are executing it. So on 10th department on clerks in the year 1982, in the first quarter of 1982, on the January month of the first quarter, in the 4th week of January, on Saturday of that particular week, I invested 1300. Can't I know my investment by hours, minutes and seconds also? If a small EMP table can give us some analysis of the data like this. Now I leave your analytical intelligence to your brain now. Especially people keeping projects in your resume and you are saying that you are experienced. Can you explain your criteria to your industrial exposure with your project? So, group by clause with the group function is together very interesting or important or not, you have to check. See, I am telling you one thing. What is a group by clause? Every student will say. What is a group function? Everybody in the world will say.